Marvel fans, there are several new Spider-Man No Way Home reports that we must talk about. And oh yes, we are going to be going over John Campea's leaked photos and that whole situation.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. I never thought I would say this in my entire online career, but look closely at Tobey Maguire's dick.
But there's more than that. In fact, there are some new reports talking about things that haven't been spoken about in any circles or around any leaks. It is very possible that Spider-Man No Way Home still has a few surprises, even for those of us that have been following along with the leaks. What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming at you from Nerd Adventures Tower as per usual, and the hype and just craziness out there online about Spider-Man No Way Home, well, it's been frankly shocking. And let's begin by talking about John Campea, these new leaked photos, and that whole situation. If you missed it, we did a very fun stream yesterday morning over on our live streaming channel. It got really wild, really crazy, and I was joking a lot about the whole situation. We're talking about what happened with the photographs with John Campea. I will TLDR that for you right now, but also John Campea has responded.
Look closely at Tobey Maguire's dick.
Basically, folks, what happened was John Campea put out a couple of photographs on Twitter. I think it was late Monday night, and it had his watermark on them, and he was talking about in his post, what do you think? Is this real or fake? Bad Photoshop or good Photoshop? What do you think's going on here? And then a bunch of people were like, holy crap, these are real. I've seen similar things. John, you just ruined Christmas. John Campea comes back, deletes the photographs, goes on to talk a lot on social media about how he thought these photographs were fake. The bottom line, guys, is they weren't freaking fake. A lot of people knew that right away, but essentially John admits as such when he responded to the whole situation the following morning on his show, the John Campea Show, which was, of course, watermarked on the leaked photographs that he says he thinks were fake. And he sort of repeated this. He talked about how he thought for sure these photographs were fake. He goes on to talk about lighting, including lighting on the crotch of Tobey Maguire.
I can't believe I'm about to say this. I never thought I would say this in my entire online career, but look closely at Tobey Maguire's dick.
Epic level of what I think is trolling, because I think John actually knew that the photographs were real, but I don't know what's inside the man's heart, right? He's just, we have to go by what he's saying. And so he claims that he thought they were fake, but he was contacted by studio reps. Studio reps contacted him, tried to get him to give up his source, and they don't do that for fake Photoshop photographs. So what's the bottom line here? John Campea came out. He was a part of the craze when it comes to Spider-Man No Way Home. I actually do believe that he knew the photographs were real, and he put them out there to sort of play the game, and then he's denying it now, which is, of course, what you would do in his situation. Maybe he actually did think they were fake. Regardless, I'm not really super bothered by this. I think John is just playing the game, using the hype of Spider-Man like, frankly, all of us on YouTube are doing right now. Even in some ways, this video and the stream we did yesterday is playing off of the whole situation, grabbing up some clicks, having fun with it. I don't personally blame John at all. However, I do want to say to you that if you're trying to remain spoiler-free, you're going to want to try to get off social media as much as possible or filter out words or something, because, yeah, they're just getting more and more crazy. There's even more leaked photographs out there. John claims to have seen even more crazy stuff, and he's even hinted at some wild stuff, which we will talk about at the end of the video, because, yeah, I still want to talk about the possible surprises that are left in this movie. So what was in the photographs? Well, at this point, it's the same stuff we've been talking about for the last 6 to 9 months.
Tobey Maguire's dick.
It's the fact that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in the movie. I mean, at this point, do any of you actually doubt that they are in the film? Again, I've told you guys before, but I'll tell you again, if they're not in this movie, I will shave my head on a live stream. That's how confident I am that they are going to be in this film. That's what John had in some of the photographs. I'm not going to explain what was actually shown, but yeah, they're in those photos, which again are real. And John's photos also show that Charlie Cox is back as Daredevil for Spider-Man No Way Home. Again, something heavily reported on, something that many scoopers and insiders have been talking about for a long time. I know there's other people out there that have their doubts, etc., but what do you want me to say? These things that we have thought to be true for a long, long time may or may not have been confirmed by the photographs that John leaked out Monday. So again, your mileage may vary on how you feel about all of that. Are you like, oh, dang these leaks, I want surprises, or are you riding with it and you think John Campea is a hero for finally proving that, yes, Charlie Cox, Daredevil, and the other Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire and Andrew, are going to be in the movie? Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. But like I said, there's even more crazy stuff going out on the internet that I think some people are missing because of like the leaks and this argument about the different Spider-Man. Guys, there are possible things in Spider-Man No Way Home that we have still not seen in any of the leaks that nobody's really talking about, and I've got a couple of theories. So I guess slight spoiler warning, although some of this is going to be conjecture and speculation. I have not been told any like crazy things that I have to hold back, so I'm in a cool spot where I can speculate. I'm not going to like be giving up sources or talking about anything that I know to be completely true. So let's just get into it. This is a lot coming from Big Screen Leaks, who is really nailing it with a lot of scoops lately, so congratulations to him. He was talking about in an AMA on Twitter the fact that you will actually see 6 to 7 different villains on screen for Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, he leaves it to be very vague here, but a lot of people were saying, oh, so it's just going to be 5 villains for the main storyline, and he said you'll actually see 6 to 7 villains in the movie. Now, to me, I still think the majority of the film is going to be spent on the 5 big villains that have been teased out throughout the marketing material and that we think will be in there. These are likely to be the villains, you know, not to get too crazy into the plot leak, but these are likely the villains that are round up by Doctor Strange and held in captivity at the Sanctum Sanctorum. These will also be the villains that Peter Parker essentially frees after having a conversation with Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. Again, we're not going deep on the spoilers, but that's something that's been in almost every plot leak for the past 6 months. We strongly feel that this is happening in the movie. So I kind of think these other villains might just be cameos or might not have a lot to do in the film because the big group of villains is going to be in that main fight and involved in the main plot. But there are some cool possibilities here. So obviously Venom is a big possibility. Vulture is a big possibility. Mysterio is a big possibility. And obviously we think he's going to be seen in the film, if not seen again, to be alive. Morbius is possible. Scorpion is possible. And I actually really like the idea of doing Kraven the Hunter because there's a lot of rumors that Kraven the Hunter is a big project that Sony wants to be doing in the future. But it's also possible that the 6th or 7th villain we see on screen in this film will actually be the Scarlet Witch. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but the connective tissue between Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, I think is going to be very strong. There are even some rumors, like John Campea has sort of hinted at the fact that you might see Professor Xavier or some of the other crazy Fox X-Men pop up in Spider-Man No Way Home, either in the movie or in a post-credit scene, and that will have a direct tie-in over there to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This is also something that Grace Randolph has been sort of hinting at in a lot of her coverage, the fact that Sony characters and Fox X-Men characters are all going to be in Doctor Strange 2 and how it's all going to tie together because the multiverse is cracking open and now we're just going to have a ton of fun in a big film like in the Multiverse of Madness. And I think this could really work. Just kind of hear me out on this because some of you guys are like, dude, no way, like that'll never happen. That's way too crazy. Let me just say this. This movie looks to have the most eyeballs on it of anything Marvel this year and anything Marvel in the past couple of years. It could be endgame level of hype. This could sort of create a resurgence back to the movie theaters, really make a bunch of money, and be one of the most watched superhero movies of all time. If you think about it from Marvel's perspective, why wouldn't you want to sort of tease stuff out that's coming in the future in a big movie like this? So I wouldn't be surprised if you got a little bit of an X-Men tease, maybe even a Fantastic Four tease, and a big tease as to what's going on with the Spider-Verse and these different Sony characters. Like, why wouldn't you? Whether or not it's in a post-credit scene or in a part of the movie. So I don't have any actual inclination on who the different characters could be. John Campea sort of teased out Professor X. That could make sense. there could be a lot of other crazy surprises on the way as well. And just to add into this, I have been sort of thinking that Marvel Studios has been adding stuff in reshoots. Like currently, right now, they're doing a lot of reshoots for In the Multiverse of Madness. And I've been told by some very reliable people that they are adding a bunch of cameos and really juicing that movie up in the reshoots. This is maybe partially being done to prevent leaks and spoilers, as we've been seeing a lot lately, because you could actually do what they did with The Mandalorian Season 2, have Plo Koon be in the script, show up to the set with the other actors, and then in post or in a little reshoot, you add in Luke Skywalker and it blows everybody's mind. So something like that could be happening for both Spider-Man No Way Home and for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But before you get out of here, there's even more, ladies and gentlemen, as recent drama has sort of sparked up about the second trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. So let's quickly go over that. Grace Randolph was trending yet again when she made a video talking about how she heard that the reason we have not gotten the second trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home is because the visual effects for the actual film are taking so much time, and they are like going full steam ahead at that pace for that work that they cannot possibly dedicate any time to doing a trailer. And I know some of you guys are like, oh, Grace Randolph, grab a torch, grab a pitchfork, let's get Josh. But there was another big scooper out there, viewer Anon, who corroborated Grace's report. This guy's really reliable. Not a lot of people get triggered by this guy the same way they do by Grace and even John Campea, right? So this guy came out and said, full transparency, Grace and I have recently traded info on a few things, and I don't think she's lying. I believe she was told the movie is in a major crunch mode to make its release date, but Andy is also right that it's common for studios to cut multiple trailers and pick one. And this is coming from Andy Signor, who's another pretty good, reliable scooper out there, you know, does a lot of his own YouTube content. He came out and replied to a post about Grace Randolph's report and said this is complete lies. Her sources have been off this entire movie. They have 3 trailers, Grace. 1 gives it all away, 2 don't. They are debating which one to run with. Now, this is really interesting because as viewer Anon says, I actually believe both of them are correct, because here's what I think is going on. I think multiple things are true. Number one, I do actually believe that they are on the struggle bus with finishing the visual effects for this movie. And I say this because I think some of the visual effects from even the first trailer really aren't that great. Doc Ock stuff needs a lot of work, and there's a real big disparity between what you see in that first trailer and what you see in one of the finalized shots that's pulled for the Empire magazine spread from a couple of weeks ago. They have a lot of work to do. Partially, this could be because of some of the reshoot stuff and some of the crazy spoilery stuff that they are adding into the film rather late. So I actually believe that. I think that is real. And you might say, but that's not how a trailer is cut together. And this is where I think things get a little bit weird. What we have to understand here is that a lot of the leaks that are happening right now are coming from a visual effects company that I believe is hired to work on both trailers and actual footage for this movie. Now, when Andy is saying that they have 3 different trailers cut, I actually believe that, but what they are doing is cutting a trailer using footage from the current version of the film, and then they have to get one of these visual effects studios or companies to polish these trailers up once they pick the one they want to go with and to get it ready for primetime television. So I think when you add in the factor that maybe these studios are also possibly firing people or trying to find out which among them is actually leaking this kind of information, right? You add into the mix that they might be adding stuff to the film and that these visual effects companies are really under a lot of a big crunch here. It's totally possible that yes, they have 3 trailers, but none of them are theater ready or ready to actually be seen online because they can't pull these visual effects companies away from their work on the movie to come in and finish visual effects for a trailer. I hope that makes sense. I don't know for sure what is going on, but I wanted to talk to you about it and explain it. Some people are claiming theaters already have the trailer, which would sort of debunk the fact that the delay is coming from VFX being a big deal. But I absolutely believe Grace when she says that they are under crunch mode, that they really have a lot of work to do. And some people might be worried that they're not going to get it ready in time for the movie. they will have it ready for the movie. That's not to say they won't fix it up even after the movie, right, down the road, but they will have something ready for that release date. I just don't believe they're going to actually delay the film just because of visual effects. It's too late in the game, but they are in crunch mode, okay? So there you go, guys. A ton of crazy updates about this wild, wild movie, Spider-Man No Way Home. It's all the rage, man. Can't wait to see it myself. Let me know what you think about all these different reports in the comment section below. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to our channel to see more of our content. Pop up in your recommended feed. And come on by the live streaming channel. We get into it over there. It's always a good time. You got a question, you got a comment, bring it to me live, baby. We'll break it down in the moment. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.